Hello to all my friends in Korea. I'm excited to be with you to really share some thoughts with you about what makes a blockbuster product. We have quite a few blockbuster products in Unicity, and that's one of the reasons we've been so successful in building the business around the world. But not every product that we have, and not very many products that are out there in the marketplace, really are the kind of products that you can build a huge business with. To be really truthful about this, we have to see the product very differently than just as something that we might like or that we might use. In order for a product to be a superstar, to really be a blockbuster, to be the kind of product that you can build your business on, it has to have 7 different characteristics that make it special. And I'd like to talk about each of those with you right now and kind of share with you what each of them does that creates the leverage in your business as you use a blockbuster product to build your business. So let's shift the screen right now. We'll go here and then we can talk about this. So as I said, the 7 requirements or the 7 characteristics of a blockbuster product are: first, the product must be safe. There were a lot of companies out in the nutritional world, that were selling and still are in some cases selling products that frankly were not safe. And there's been a lot of pressure from the United States Food and Drug Administration and other countries' ministries of health that have focused in on, is this product really safe for our citizens to take? And so the number one most important thing that Unicity looks at when we look at a product is that product safe for everyone to use? And for a product to be a blockbuster, it has to be safe. Number 2, it has to be effective. Of course it does. It has to do something. It's stunning to me, really, when I think about all of the companies in our space, in the direct marketing space, that sell products that are just nonsense. I mean, it's like, holy cow, it's some juice. And what's this supposed to do? Well, the only thing that juice really does is raise blood sugar and contribute to somebody's insulin insensitivity and maybe even to their diabetes. So it's amazing. It's safe, I guess, but it's not really effective. Contrast a juice like that or some other product that doesn't really have any kind of effect with a product like Balance or Bio's Life or Unimate or Matcha or E or any of a number of other products that we offer that actually really do work. But it's not just a measure of working. It also has to have the effect of being consumable. There was a company many years ago that got off to a very fast start in the direct marketing space. They were selling water filters. That's all they sold, was water filters. And I guess you could say that a water filter is consumable because you replace the filter, once every few months or maybe once a year, whatever. But it wasn't consumable in an immediate monthly sort of way. And as a result, that company eventually had to completely change everything that they do in business. And they went to a nutritional product that people would buy, consume, and then in a month buy it again. And as a result, they've been able to survive. But there have been other companies. In fact, there's a company, I won't mention the name, but they recently approached us because they'd like to sell their company to us. This was a very big company 20 years ago, and they were in the magnet business. And yet they didn't have that really good consumable product. And what they really found was without consumability, without the ability to keep having the same customer be a customer as opposed to trying to find a new customer after every time you made a sale, you had to find a new customer, is it was just too hard. And as a result, their business went up and then it came back down and it's just never been the same. And now of course, they're trying to shop it to us and others. We're not interested, by the way, so don't worry about that. The fourth requirement is the product needs to be exclusive. Now, keep in mind, these are the requirements for a blockbuster product. Not all of our products are blockbusters, but we have more than most companies have. I would say in our space, we have more than all of our competitors have, because we think about these things. We think about these 7 requirements. And this fourth requirement of being exclusive is really important, because if someone else can knock off your product and, maybe it's not quite as good as yours, or maybe it's not quite as effective or as consumable as yours, but it's close enough that it confuses the customer, then you create some real problems out there. And so one of the things that I've been very insistent about is any of our really, really important products, we have to own that product. We have to have that exclusive. And we get very serious if someone tries to copy us. We were just dealing with some litigation recently with a guy, a doctor, who thought he could duplicate Biles Life. And he found out in court that that's against the law. And he's now paying us a sizable settlement, as he has learned that you can't rip people off. You can't try to steal somebody's intellectual property or their products without paying a big price. But that would not have happened if we hadn't had the protections in there that said and showed the court that our product was exclusive, that we owned it. It was patented. It was copyrighted. It was trademarked. No one else had the formula, and these sort of things. The fifth element or requirement is that the product is measurable. It's not just effective. You can actually prove to yourself that it's effective. You can take a blood test. You can do some other measurement that is recognized as real in science that actually shows you that your product is actually working for you. One of the things that I was talking to some of the leaders in Hawaii about is what we call continuous glucose monitors. These are very cool devices that you can buy right there in Korea, and you attach them to your arm, and then with an app on your phone, and just by touching the device on your arm with your phone, your Android or iPhone, you can literally see on a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, you can see your glucose levels. That simple. And guess what happens? When you eat food without having Biles Life or Biles 2 or Balance or Slim, if you don't have one of those very, very cool blockbuster products before you eat, your blood sugar goes a lot higher. But when you have the BIOS or the Balance or the Slim prior to eating, your blood sugar stays very smooth. I loved using those devices. I don't have one on right now, but I'll put another one on next week. And I just loved it. I was checking all the time. And I was finding that if I had like pasta or if I had rice, and I didn't have a Balance or a BIOS or a Slim in front of that meal, my blood sugar would go to 155 or 160 on the scale. Now, that's still pretty healthy because I'm healthy, but it's still higher than I want it to be, because as your glucose goes up fast, your insulin goes up fast, and that causes all kinds of problems in your body long term. When I had the Slim or the BIOS or the Balance, before I had that pasta or that rice or that carbohydrate meal, guess what? My blood sugar stayed at about 110 115. And as a result, I didn't have to make a whole bunch of insulin and release it into my body to get rid of that glucose and drop that glucose into my cells and get it out of the bloodstream. So it's kind of fun that we're living in a day and an age where we've got measurability that is so immediate and so accurate, and it's available to you. But that's the fifth element of a blockbuster product. The sixth element is that the results are visible. In other words, people can look at you and say, what are you doing? You know, hey, you're looking good. What are you doing? The results of the product actually are producing a visible effect on you. I met a friend yesterday. I haven't seen this man in about, I guess it's been 5 years. And he's aged. You know, we're about the same age, but, you know, he's aged. I didn't say anything to him, but he looked like he'd gotten a lot older. And, you know, I've gotten older too. But the fact of the matter is, he walked up to me and he says, wow, you don't look like you've aged a day. And I says, well, I have. And he says, yeah, but you don't look at, what are you doing? And I says, well, I'm doing what I always do. I'm using my products. Anyway, we had a good laugh about that. But the fact of the matter is, he could tell a difference. 5 years, we haven't seen each other. He could tell a difference in the way I looked at 66 years old and the way he looked at about 66, or even maybe he may be a little younger than me. He may be 64, 65. But the bottom line is, if you want a blockbuster product, it needs to produce visible effects. People need to see you changing. Now, some of these visible effects can be in your attitude. That's one of the reasons that Unicity is such a powerful product, because when you're using Unicity, you have a better attitude. You have a better sense of well-being. I tell you, my wife, this is kind of funny, but my wife will say to me, you know, I don't even want to talk to you in the morning until you've had your Unicity. You're just a nicer person after you've had your Unicity. And I think I'm a pretty nice person, but the bottom line is, she's noticing a visible effect of the product. And of course, we have other products that produce that. The final of the 7 requirements of a blockbuster product is it needs to produce an emotional response. It's got to create passion. People have to get emotional about what the product does for them. Now, that's a big deal. And if you're feeling passion for the product, it does something to you. You become more authentic, more believable as you talk to the people around you. It also causes you to have more courage. The more passionate you are about what you're doing, the more courageous you are about doing it. You're not as fearful of other people if you have this deep emotional reaction to what you're doing and the products that you're offering. So we have products. We have a lot of great products. All of them are safe. We believe that all of them are effective. Most of them are consumable. Most of them are exclusive. Some of them are measurable. Some of them are visible. Some of them are very emotional. But in order to have a blockbuster product, you need all 7 of those things. Now, we fortunately have a few great blockbuster products that have all 7 of these requirements or elements or characteristics of a blockbuster product. As you go out and talk to people about joining our business, it's very important that you help them understand that you can only be successful in a business if you have products that actually bring customers back again and again and again. And those products are called blockbuster products. And so why would a talented individual want to go work for a company that maybe was pretty fancy and pretty slick or pretty new, but didn't have products that met all 7 of these requirements? They wouldn't if they understood it, because they would have to work 2 times, 3 times, 4 times as hard to go out and sell a business with products that didn't meet all of these requirements. Well, my friends, I hope you have a great and effective day today. And I hope this video has been useful to you as you think about not just the business that you're in, but also how you're going to help other people who are not in our business see the wisdom of joining you in building a business with a company that has multiple blockbuster products. Talk to you later. We'll see you the next time.